300cc scooters are basically city scooters, so let's take it citying. Let's take it through my now usual city test track. And this is the tightest of in-towns. And so on this tightest of in-towns, let's try it out. And it copes brilliantly with these crazy holes in the pavement, with not much issue, even though the wheels are small. It's a scooter after all, so you do fall into the bigger holes. But let's see here. Suspension makes this a very smooth ride, much smoother than it ought to be, which is absolutely brilliant. Grip wise, well, this has all the grip of well-oiled spaghetti. Seriously, these cobblestones are very old, so this is super polished, and this is supposed to be a road. Why are there two cars here parked? This is supposed to be an access road. I'll have to go through the pedestrian place. Awesome, great. And so here we are, as you can see, very agile and very easy to ride around. That ended up being a pretty good test, to be honest. Wasn't expecting that. Oh, you've been hearing the traction control. Okay, this is the slickiest part of town here. See, there's no grip whatsoever, so let's try the traction control in 3, 2, 1, throttle. Yeah. Traction control gives a heart attack, and even though it sounds rough, it doesn't feel rough. It feels very smooth. But in town commuting for this one, very, very light bike, very, very smooth riding, even on bad pavement. So this is easily a 5 stars out of 5. This is very practical and very easy to get, well, wherever you need to get. Awesome. Let's see how it performs on the test track. Now let's see how it goes on the open road, on the fast corners. Well, I guess it goes fast enough for this bloke up ahead. Come on, big boy. I'm on a 300cc scooter. I shouldn't be able to go faster than you, but I am. This is good performance from a little scooter. Come on, big boy, faster, big boy. This has a lot more performance than you'd expect. Quite a lot more. And it is fast enough too. Okay, he's not accelerating a lot. I am full throttle, but I'm keeping up. But still, I don't know the guy in front, by the way. I have no idea who he is. I just want to get past. Which will not be easy because we just found a biker plug. Now, one thing about the ABS that it's fun is that it takes a long while to activate, especially the rear one, and especially like this, see? When you are leaned over. I have no idea if it's lean sensitive, but it does allow you to slide out to the rear when you are leaned over. When you're straight, no, not really, but when you're leaned over, you can just brake and it'll just slide, which is quite odd. And over these bumps at full speed, it's okay, it's fine. This is way too fast. This is not how I test this. I usually test it at this speed, and it's more than fine. Again, this is horrible pavement. This is nearly the worst I know. And you can hear it in my voice, the bumps, but it's not bad. Comparing to the Forza, this is in a league of its own. It's completely different. Awesome. Compared to, say, an Africa Twin or a KTM Adventure or something like that, obviously it's worse. It's a scooter with the engine hanging off the rear swing arm. But within that frame of mind of a big engine stuck to the swing arm, it is very good. It's quite comfortable over bad pavement. The way city scooters should be, to be honest. And it just grabs the road when throttling out of a corner like that. These are some seriously good tires. Now, about the high-speed performance, I felt the suspension might be, especially the rear one. The front is great. The front is completely stuck to the ground. The rear is just a tad soft. Sometimes on the corner exits, after a few bumps, I could feel my bum going up and down a bit more than I would like. And you feel the bike oscillating a bit, so the suspension is a bit softer than you'd like, but the wheels actually go nowhere. So it doesn't quite give you as much feel on the road as I would like. And comparing to the Forza, it is slightly inferior to the Forza, but it's got great open road performance. So that was just brilliant and fast. And here again, I could feel it squatting a bit under load over there, more than I would like, but still, man. I shouldn't be having this much fun on a 300cc scooter, and yet I am. And now a long winding downhill corner. With a car that just popped in front of me. Lovely. Oh, and a bike. Oh, great. Thanks, guys. So I guess I'll just have to film it again going upwards. Let's go up. You just lean and go. This is great. And the slightly softish suspension, it's not softish, it's fine. I'm just comparing it with the Forza, which is a lot stiffer. It just copes brilliantly well with these kinds of bumps. Long rides. Very stable. Again, the only part where you feel it's not quite a proper motorcycle is that it's a bit slightly wobbly on the exits, but it's just a feel when you have a big bump on the way out. On the other hand, just look at the lineage, and this is a 300cc scooter. This is astonishing. Move over, Porsche. I am on the 300cc scooter, so are you seeing the lineage? And I'm still, remember, I always ride these bikes with a pretty hefty margin of safety. I don't like to lean them as much as I actually could. I leave a big gap for imponderables like a car stopped in front of me, a bike, a pine cone in the middle of the road because pine trees. And yet, I actually scraped the center stand. So that was on the limit, and I felt I was not on the limit, but I was. And this is a 300cc scooter designed clearly for the city, except maybe it's not. I'm not really sure what this was designed for. Because now I thought this would be a bit more city going after I tried it in the city, and it was very compliant on bad pavement. And now I'm not that sure, to be honest. Now I'm like, what is this designed for? This is not just city, this works brilliantly here too. So I guess the design team was something like, so we want this to be usable on the open road or on the city? Yes. Wow. And for the price, which is 6,200 euros, if I remember correctly off the top of my head, this is quite a bargain. I guess this is Yamaha trying to mimic the very special bike that is the T-Max, but on the smaller displacement ones, where you can't call it the T-Max 300 because that would just be silly, and you can't price it like a T-Max because that would just be marketing suicide. But they're still trying to get that this is not a scooter feel onto the bike, which is very nearly done. The only thing that you can still feel is that big engine stuck to the rear, to your rear swing arm, and you can feel that. But even with that big thing, that big lump attached to the wheel, this here is still fine. So they spent a lot on good suspension. It's not perfect because the engine is still there, but this is not uncomfortable. I could actually ride this one in town commuting over this pavement and not be complaining too much. Unlike the Forza, where this was just very uncomfortable and something that I would really love to skip over. On this one, fine. If your local town has this kind of poor pavement, this seems to be the bike to get, or rather the scooter to get. I'm very impressed. Very nice. Cager out. So, in conclusion, it is a great car, great bike. Oh, that sounds lovely. It is a great little scooter, which is not only sporty, but it's also usable in town, which is very weird. But yeah, well done, Yamaha. Quite impressed. So yeah, that's it. Test drive is over. Don't forget that the next video is going to be the actual review. So where is the other camera? There's okay. Sorry about setting this up, but I don't have a lot of time. The next video is going to be the proper review. So if you like this one, remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you get a notification for the proper review for this pretty cool looking bike and pretty cool performing bike. Yes, I know, this is the warning when the key is too far away from the bike and the bike is on. Oh, okay, good tires. Now I understand the performance of these tires. They're really good ones. On purpose, when I do these test rides, I do not know anything on the bike, so I don't come in with preconceived ideas. I don't read reviews to make sure that I go in very pure. So if I said anything very silly, that's why. Now I'm going to read on the bike to make the proper review, which is going to be the next video, so stay tuned. Cager out.